greetings from the Emerald Isle, whisky lovers. My name's Al, and this is Whisky Straight. What's up, whisky lovers? My name's Al, and thanks for joining me for another episode of Whisky Straight. Today, I'm going to get right into the swing of things with the Loch Lomond 12-year-old Highland single malt Scotch. Now, Loch Lomond whisky is the official whisky of the British Open Golf Championship, and that's being held this year from the 18th to the 21st of July at the lovely Royal Portrush course, and that's right here in Northern Ireland. So make sure you tune into that. Now, a small bit about the background of Loch Lomond, and it only is going to be a small bit. Now, the distillery was established there in 1814, but somewhere along the line it's closed. The records weren't really well kept, and there's not a lot known about it. But the distillery in its present form was founded in 1964 and has been producing some mighty fine stuff since then. Now, this only recently appeared in my local shop. It's not one that I really see around here very often, but I heard the Whisky Friend Alan talking about it, and he recommended it, and his knowledge of Scotch whisky and his in-depth reviews are really great. So when he recommends something, you take notice. So I took notice, went out and got it, and here we are now. So before I get on to the review in proper, check out the Whisky Friend. He's his own YouTube channel. His reviews are great, in depth. He's great knowledge. So check him out. Be sure to give him a follow. You'll really enjoy his stuff. I'll put a link in down below. So stick around to see what I think of this 12-year-old single malt. So before we get right into the nosing and tasting, just a little bit about the whisky itself. It's, as I say, it's 12 years old. It's 46% ABV. It's non-chill filtered. Now, they don't say anything about the colouring. As you can see, it's quite a nice rich colour there, but when they don't say something about the colouring, it usually means there's something added in. Now, it's been aged in 3 types of cask, and that's bourbon, refill and recharred, and this is all overseen by the master distiller Michael Henry. So let's get into it and see how it fares. Right off, I'm getting some nice fruitiness there. It's and there's a nice sort of elegant malty edge with it as well. There's a definite distinct note of pear, which is crisp, it's fresh, it's really nice. But I think I'm also getting another hint of, like, perhaps an apple, like a golden delicious apple, you know, nice, vibrant, crisp fruitiness. Now, as you get into it a bit more, there really isn't a whole pile more going on, but coming through that sort of crisp, fresh fruitiness, there's some vanilla, and there's a bit of mild honey coming into play as well. And all in all, that leads to a quite elegant nose. It really is very pleasant on the aroma front. Okay folks, let's give it a whirl on the palate and see how it goes from there. Sláinte, I made a bit of a blooper there. We'll get on with it anyway. Right off, just like on the nose, there's a nice fruity element that comes in from the off. And what's really nice with it as well is the mouthfeel. It's nice and velvety, and that's probably because it's reminiscent of like warm, succulent mashed pear, and it gives it a lovely mouthfeel. And there's a hint of vanilla coming in with that as well, some malt, and even a bit of chocolate, but it's mostly that warm mashed pear, and it really does give it a nice start off on the palate. It's nice and warming still, and with that warmth, the peat's coming in. Now, it's not an overpowering peat by any shape of the imagination. It's a nice, gentle, easy-going peat, and it's providing a nice warmth all across the palate. It's like, you know, you get in some whiskies, if there's a bit of a burn on them, you know, it starts to burn at the front of the palate, and then as it works its way back and around the palate and up the cheeks, it gradually dies from the front as it gets hot towards the back. It's like this one, as it gradually crosses the palate, the heat on the front still remains, the heat up the side still remains, the heat on the top of the palate still remains, and still at the back. And it's almost like the peat's doing what it does when you chuck it on the fire. It's keeping things going, and it's lingering nicely, and it's bringing a really nice warming peaty flavour on top of what's gone before. So there we have it, folks. That's my review of the Loch Lomond 12-year-old single malt, and I have to say it is really a great 12-year-old expression. It's elegant, the flavours provide a nice fruity, fresh crispiness up front, and that's balanced with just the right amount of peat and smoke that complements the other flavours rather than overpowering them. And if you want to take it into a golfing analogy, this is more than up to par. For me, it's a birdie, you know, and it's definitely one that I have enjoyed and will be buying another. And at 35 quid, you can't really go wrong, you know. So thanks, Alan, my Whisky Friend, for recommending it to me. I really appreciate it. As I said earlier, make sure you go and check Alan out on his channel, the Whisky Friend. It's well worth it. Oh, and while you're at it, don't forget about me. Give me the old thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and if you really want to see more of this big, beardy, bald brute, you can hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I put on something new. So thanks for watching, folks. Really appreciate your ongoing support, and until the next time, stay safe and make sure you drink your whiskey the way you like it. Sláinte. Okay, fucks. Twat.